I shouldn't have said it. I jinxed this. Welcome back. Welcome, everyone. You're all welcome. You're all welcome here. Welcome back to the Midwest Street Cars YouTube channel. You saw me take my GTO to the racetrack. We were trying some new converter stuff, trying to hit it with the lockup, pick up a few ET in miles per hours, and we struggled. We weren't sure what we struggled with, but we struggled with something. Today, we're going back to the racetrack with my GTO. We have a special guest with us, by the way. Gerald Brand from Brand Racing Engines. Mr. Brand himself went with us to the racetrack. That was pretty cool. I've never seen Gerald Brand at Thunder Valley. I don't know why that even means anything, but it was pretty cool to have him go with us and, go to the races. The air felt better, but we learned from the last trip not to just guess or not to just assume it's, the same or it's okay. So we checked it with the Kestrel.
91.6.
Oh, what do you even use that for?
What? The biggest guess? No, it's just for fun. If you're a density altitude guy, that's 2,600 foot basically.
Whatever, Jackie guessed closest, so whatever. Doesn't mean she's smarter than me. It just means she would be a better weather person. We're gonna turn it way down, just try and see if we can get a baseline. Just go down. Basically erase everything that happened the last time at the track, because up until then we were doing great. We were going past, we were winning races, winning money, going faster every round, and then we went to the track out of nowhere and it spun the tires. So we got to erase that. We got to get that off of us. So we're going all the way to the stripe under power.
I think we might have figured something out. Huh. Well, I'll be dipped. Andy, I think we might have this deal nipped in the bud. Nip it, nip it, nip it. That'll fucking work.
All right, so the monkey's off our back. It went down off the trailer to the 60 foot, went 1.208, 330, it went 3.203. To the 8th mile, it went 479 with a 4 at 155.8 miles per hour with a 054 reaction time. Obviously, I'm not racing anybody, so I'm not way up on the tree trying to give them the old 5-finger discount. I'm just We're just testing, but even when I'm testing, you know what I mean, I'm still a little fast. Can't help it. It's just ingrained into me. So up until this point, I think our personal best on the 28-inch tire, it was at the last race, I think it went at 462, 461, 462, pretty sure 462 at like 160 something. But it was running out of gear. RPM was way high. And so we knew we needed to make a little bit of a change. 479 with that much power out of it, just trying to go down the track. That's all right. Whatever. I ain't that worried about it. It did, still went 120 to the 60 foot. Hell, I think our best was only 119. So, you know. Here's the weird part though. So it felt a little weird in high gear. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt weird. And if you watch the video, you can probably hear it. It just kind of felt like it was, you know, felt like it was working a little hard in high gear. Not what I'm used to with the lockup. Usually with the lockup, it's smooth. It hits and then it just like tries to go back in time, like Marty McFly, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that way. So we get the car back, go over the data, and turns out the lockup wasn't fully applied. Over here's on the trans brake, let off the trans brake, first gear, shift in a second. As you can tell, we got a bunch of power out of it, so it's just kind of lazy right here. Shifts in a second, and then it's, you know, cooking along, whatever, doing its thing. And then it shifts into third. This is the green is drive shaft. Hi, buddy. The red is RPM, engine RPM. Green is drive shaft RPM. And so you can see it makes the 2-3 shift here. And then this is the lockup. So it drops the RPM. And then, so what I can do is I can turn on the time-based output. So this is the output. So told it to turn on here at like 3.4 seconds. And then it shuts off at the shift, then it comes back on, then it shuts off, and then it comes back on. And every time the RPM dropped, it would shut off. When the RPM came back up, it would turn back on. And you can see in the drive shaft, it was on, off, on. That right there can tell you how much acceleration it's giving the car, because it's picking the drive shaft up that much. And if you look at TCC apply pressure, that's going to be the orange line. You can see that it's smooth trying to apply the lockup way back here, and then it goes to really apply it here, and then it's off, and then it's on, and it's off, and it's on and it's off. So that was an easy fix. Just go into the computer right here under your time-based output, and then you put your time in here, and you put your RPM here. I had this set too high. It was like 7,800 or something. So all I had to do was turn this down and it was ready to rock. Electronically, the lockup worked. It applied. It didn't stay applied, but it applied. Which means the wiring and stuff's good. The hardware is good. The clutches and stuff in the converter is all good. Everything's good. Seems good there. So next pass, we're really not going to touch it early. You know, we're going to try and run the same 60 foot, basically the same 330. We're not going to mess with it early. We just want to start getting that data on the lockup and see what it wants and start bringing that lockup in earlier. And then we're not gonna make any big changes. So we're gonna cool it down, take it back up there and see what it'll do.
Thank you. that didn't feel too bad. We finally got 2 in a row. Uh-oh. They coming down here for me?
All right, now we got something. Now we're making that progress. It went 1208, so same exact 60 foot to the third number. 3.135 to the 330, which is a little faster than the first pass. It's probably just the air dropping the night, getting better, whatever. Then it went 461 at 169. Hey, we're almost full grown. That is a small personal best, ETN mile an hour. So we, on the 28-inch tire, I think we've only been 462 letting off. So it went 461, and we've only been like 165 maybe, and it went 169. So, you know, it's all about those small goals, you know, achieving those small goals. Now we see the lockup is working. It's working and it's applying and it's locking up hard and it's picking up ET in mile an hour. But I want one more hit. I know it's, you know, greedy. It's greedy, but I want one more. I want one more now, because that should have been my first one. Still a little bit down on power, not putting away any power. Still got power out of it here, basically. Not down on power. We just don't have any power in it right here. And so then it runs up, 1-2 shift, runs up, 2-3 shift. And then right here, not so much here, but right here, so you can see time-based out. So this is when I turn the converter on, or the lockup on here at 3.5 seconds. And then of course it took it till 4 seconds for it to actually lock up. And you can see it was the TCC apply pressure. So it has a knob on the side of the transmission that you can adjust how fast it gets from 0 to full tilt boogie. And I was trying to, you know, pulse that, mess with that, try and make it hit smoother, but it didn't seem to do anything but just delay it longer. But then when the TCC pressure gets all the way up there, then bang, it locks up hard. Look at, so when people talk about it slipping out the back or percentages or the converter stator or it's got too much, you know, it's slipping 20% out the back or whatever. What they're talking about is the percentage between engine RPM and drive shaft RPM. And so like right here, we're at 8,700 engine RPM and 7,300 drive shaft RPM. Bang, when that happens, that's why they call it a lockup. Because they are the same. 8,000, 8,000, 8,200, 8,200, like your drive shaft and your RPM are locked together. And what you want is, you want it to pull the RPM down and the drive shaft up and the G meter up with it. You don't want it to, you know, spin the tire or pull the engine down and not go any faster. So, and that's exactly what it's doing. Faux show. It is G metering. Yeah, checking out. Now I want another pass. I want to try 3 seconds. And that's just, you know, the plan was to lock it up in second gear, but after we had trouble with the apply and figuring that out after the first pass, we didn't get to. So now I want to lock it up at 3 seconds. That should be right at the top of second gear. And then if it'll take that, well, then of course the next pass I'm going to do it at 2.5. And, you know, just like I did on the big tires, I'm just going to keep turning that on a half a second earlier until it either completely flips over backwards or smokes the tires.
That didn't feel too bad. Still feels slow to the 60 foot though. Oh hey, 456 with a 169, 74. Man, look at there. Still got a terrible 60 foot. Oh, 24 reaction time though, that's bad. Went 780, letting off at the 8 for the shoot top. Nice. A noise. Whoa, that's a good way to put your door on. Wait a minute, there's a 450 what? It went a 50 something? Oh yeah, 456. Noise. 450 on some Hoosier street racing tires in a street racing car, and tires got 17 licks on them or something stupid. A noise.
Third pass. 1.215 to the 60 foot. 3.119 to the 330. 456 with a 7 at 169.74 mile per hour. That is a personal best ET, personal best mile per hour. Not personal best 60 foot or 330 though. We've been faster to the 60 foot and to the 330. So that should tell you, should tell you where we're going here. It really liked turning the, lock up on half second earlier, if you can't tell. Last pass it went a 61. Just turning the lock up on half a second earlier went a 56. So yeah, it really liked that. It's weird how that works, but they really like that. So we're going to turn it on half a second earlier next time we take it out. I shut it off a tick early, not enough to really make a difference in the ET, maybe a little bit in a mile an hour, but it's been having a weird vibration in the decel the last two passes, and then this pass was even, I started to feel it while it was still accelerating. And then it had something weird right around like the 2-3 shift. It kind of like waffled or did something weird, and then it was fine, and then the lockup happened and it took off. But then I was starting to feel that vibration. I was like, man, I don't know what's going on, but if axle comes out of this thing or brake rotor falls off or something, we're gonna be in trouble going 170 mile an hour. I shut it off a tick early, still ran a 56 at 169, so we're almost 170, 169.7. Man, that's so close to 170. As soon as I got out of the car, Jackie and Gerald both said it made a noise right about the 2-3 shift. And I said, what kind of noise? Because I felt something in the car. I said, what kind of noise? They were like, I don't know. They both said it sounded like it was breaking up. Of course, Jackie downloads the data. Sure enough, you can see it right there, plain as day. You can see here, we're not doing anything. It's still the same down here. Goes up, 1-2 shift, goes up. And then there's something weird right here before the 2-3 shift, because here's the 2-3 shift. But like, you can see this trend here is it's not just straight, linear going up and then shifting. There's something happens right here. If you turn on ignition cut rev limiter percentage, you can see that right there, it touched the rev limiter a few times there. Nothing bad, we're talking 20-30%, but it was enough that you could hear it and feel it in the car. And then of course it makes the shift and goes away. All is good. Shifts into third gear here, and then bang, there's the lockup. So this is the G meter. The yellow is the G meter. And it's pretty normal, got power out of it here, but then it's, cruising along. Everything. They usually will keep losing G until the finish line, because you're not accelerating as fast as you were way back here. You leave the starting line, it bang, and it pulls really hard. And then as you go down there, it doesn't pull as hard. But if you look right here, when that lockup happens, look at that G meter, just straight up, and hangs it there. Like, that is ET, my friend. Anytime that you can get the drive shaft to go up and the G meter to go up, you are making bacon. And also, if you look at the drive shaft, you can see, if you were to follow this line without the lockup, it would be here underneath it. Well, I mean, heck, I can turn one on. So this is my best pass before that without the lockup, is that drive shaft. And you can see they are dead on top of each other until right at the 2-3 shift. This one starts to pull away a little bit, but then, man, when that lockup hits, that is a massive difference. Look at that, massive. That's ET right there. That's how you do it. So now you can see how much difference there is from the lockup to non-lockup. And so at, we'll say right there, it's 8,500 on the passes before with the same setup without the lockup. At less mile an hour, it was 9,000, over 9,000 a couple of those passes. So you can kind of see how helpful it is. Now imagine this is 1-to-1. Once it goes into third gear here, third gear is 1-to-1 ratio wise. So imagine if you did it here. So if you wait till out here to lock it up, it's going to drop a lot more RPM to get down to the drive shaft. But here there's a mechanical advantage in second gear because it's not 1-to-1. It's 1 point, whatever your tranny is. But so if you lock it up here, it's not going to drop as far, and it's going to go fast. It's going to bring that G meter spike way back here, and it's going to use the advantage of the gear to go even faster. So the sooner you can get that lockup to happen, the faster it will be. That's where it's at. We're sharing as much as we can share with you guys, other than putting you in the car and letting you make a hit. So if you have any questions, let us know. Hit the comment section. Where would you lock it up? You looking at this, where would you lock it up? If this is 3 seconds, where would you lock it up? And don't say here, because that's what I want to do anyway, but let us know. Thanks for watching. It's a bad mamma jamma. Pete at Circle D nailed this one. I really like it. That Pete is pretty special. That Circle D's got something going on. Used to be it was mostly streetcar stuff. If you haven't checked them out in a while, go check them out, because they got some magic brewing over there.